Pilipinas, usa lang bay ang radyo. DZRH Nationwide at Radyo Natin Network ng Manila Broadcasting Company. Sa Pilipinas, iisa lang ang radyo.
Manila Broadcasting Company.
Dibisyon ng Biliran Alternative Learning System kasama ang buong kagawaran ng edukasyon at kaagapay ang pamahalaan ng probinsya ng Biliran ay buong pusong inihahandog ang programang pangradyo na pinamagatang Als Radyo Eskwela. Ito ay inyong mapapakinggan tuwing Lunes at Biyernes sa ganap na alas 11 hanggang alas 11:30 ng umaga dito lamang sa 103.9 Radyo Natin FM. Walang makahahadlang, walang maiiwan sa Alternative Learning System. Tiyak na may pag-asa, sama-samang lilipad para maabot ang pangarap sa hamong kinakaharap. Patuloy na aangat, edukasyon para sa lahat, sulong edukalidad. Ito ang DepEd Als Radyo Eskwela ng Dibisyon ng Biliran.
Good morning, our beloved Alternative Learning System learners. This is your school on the air, Als Radyo Eskwela at 103.9 Radyo Natin FM, Naval, Biliran, every Monday and Friday at the week at exactly 11 to 11:30 in the morning. I am Lilibat Salvayo, one of your radio teachers for today from the Alternative Learning System, Naval District 1. I will be accompanied by one of the implementers here in the Division of Biliran, from the district of Kabukgayan, assigned in Kabukgayan 2. No other than Ma'am Nerissa Sarsalejo. My morning greetings to you, Ma'am. Looking great today.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Beth. And of course, my morning greetings to everyone who are listening to us today, especially to our beloved ALS learners and implementers of Biliran Division. It's such an overwhelming feeling being part of this new episode of imparting learnings and fresh insights through Radio Eskwela. I would like to encourage everyone to participate the session by listening attentively and by following us at our live stream on Facebook page at 103.9 Radyo Natin Naval, Biliran.
Before we start our session, we want to make sure that wherever you are, be comfortable and very much ready for another insightful discussion. Therefore, you better be ready. I hope you start your day with good breakfast so that you can withstand the rest of the day. So, fasten your seatbelt, turn on your thinking caps, brace yourselves, and we're good to go.
Yes, that is right, Ma'am Beth. So tune in now so you will learn a lot in our discussion for today. But before we go further, let us hear first the question in our Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo. And reminder to all of our listeners, the first person who can text or comment the correct answer will be given 50 pesos worth of load. Again, the first person who can text or comment the correct answer will be given 50 pesos worth of load, sponsored by one of our co-implementers here in the Division of Biliran, none other than Sir Nonilon Espihon from Kawayan District 2. Thank you so much for the load, Sir Nonilon.
Okay, yes, thank you so much for the Lord Sir Nonilon from Kawayan District 2. Therefore, you better listen well to our discussion, my dear learners, so you can give the correct answer and win 50 pesos worth of load. Now, let us hear the question for our Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo.
What do we call about a certain amount which is agreed by both parties given to the employee on daily basis or weekly basis for his work? Let me repeat the question. What do we call about a certain amount which is agreed by both parties given to the employee on daily basis or weekly for his work?
There you have it, my dear listeners and learners. Kindly text your complete name, address, and correct answer to 0927 401121. Again, send your complete name, address, and correct answer to 0927 401121. And for all of our viewers on Facebook Live viewers, you may type your complete name, address, and correct answer on our comment box, so you may also win 50 pesos worth of load.
Yes, that is right, Ma'am Beth. Therefore, you better listen well to our discussion, my dear learners, so you can provide the correct answer. And speaking about discussion, are you now ready to listen to our lesson?
Okay, for today's episode, we are about to determine the advantages and disadvantages of earning a living through wage employment. Again, for today's episode, we are about to determine the advantages and disadvantages of earning a living through wage employment.
In your locality, you must see people busy in different economic activities. Some of them may be working for others to earn wages or salary. The others may be doing their own business and earn profit. How about you, my dear listeners and learners? Which one will you prefer? Would you like to earn a living by working in a company and get paid daily or monthly? Or be the boss of your own company or business? However, before choosing a career, you must have a clear idea about the different avenues of employment.
We have different views and opinion regarding on what type of job we're looking for that will surely help us in building a successful career path. Salary is our number one concern upon applying. That is why we choose a job that has either higher or minimum wage offer. Anyway, all you need is to be innovative so you could excel in life.
That is right, Ma'am Beth. There are plenty of career opportunities around the corner. You just need to be prepared and be the person who require you to be as an employee and earn a living through a wage employment. But what do we mean by wage employment? What are the advantages and disadvantages of wage employment?
Okay, so wage employment can be defined as a mutual agreement between two parties, known as employer and employee, in which the employee, generally an individual, agrees to work for the employer, generally a business firm, government office, or sometimes an individual under some specific terms and conditions, maybe in cash or kind for his work, and the employer agrees to pay him some. Wage is normally an assured amount which is agreed upon both the parties given to the employee on daily or weekly basis for his work. Similarly, salary is mutually agreed upon assured amounts given to the employee by the employer for his work on a monthly basis.
My dear ALS learners and listeners, don't be confused about the two words, which is wage and salary. Wage is given on daily or weekly basis, while salary is given on monthly basis. In wage employment, there are always two parties and the employees get wage or salary from the employer for his work. Wage is normally an assured amount which is agreed upon the both parties given to the employee on daily or weekly basis for his work.
In case of wage employment, there are always two parties involved. One is known as the employee and the other as the employer. Wage employment is always contractual in nature. It is an agreement between two parties whereby one party works for the other under specific terms and conditions, and later part has to pay the former any agreed upon wage or salary in return for his work.
That is right, Ma'am Beth. The relationship between two parties in wage employment is an employer-employee relationship. Here, both the parties are interdependent and interrelated. One cannot exist without the other. Both operates under some predetermined and mutually agreed upon rules and regulations concerning their work relationship.
Wage employment can be made as career and individuals can excel in their respective fields. For example, to be an accountant is not required to own an entire bank. Rather, anyone can start the career as an employee of a big bank. Wage employment involves much less risk than self-employment. There is no need to invest in land, building, or etc. for wage employment. Everyone is not capable of being self-employed by starting a business or profession. Wage employment is normally undertaken as a vacation by majority.
To our dear ALS learners and listeners, are you familiar with the word remuneration? Okay, remuneration is the return or reward that the employee received from the employer for his work. It is also known as wage or salary. My dear ALS learners, let us determine what are the advantages and disadvantages of wage employment. Let us discuss first what are the advantages of wage employment. First, easy money for the so-called minimum workers because they are going to receive their wage every weekend. Second, no work, no pay employees will expect how much they will get paid for the day they are working. Third, no contract. They are not bound to contracts, but it is only depending upon the employer if he or she will let his or her employees sign a certain contract. Fourth, they will be paid for within the time frame. And last, they are paid for what they work for within the time frame.
And for the disadvantages of a wage earners are first, they don't have a security of tenure just like a salary grade employees earn money is divided into half or weekly that wages become low. Second, since it is no work, no pay, sick leave depends on the company. It may depend if they have compensation or healthcare program that can compensate the lost days they work. Third, since some has no contract, it's easy for the management to remove and replace employees. Lastly, since wages is expected on their same routine, employees are not that frugal with spending their earned money.
Let me repeat again the advantages of being a wage employment. First, easy money for the so-called minimum workers because they are going to receive their wage every weekend. Number two, no work, no pay employees will expect how much they will get paid for the day they are working. Number three, no contract. They are not bound to contracts, but it is only depending upon the employer if he or she would let his or her employees sign a certain contract. Number four, they will be paid for within the time frame. Number five, wage earners are able to expect their wages in the same dates daily, weekly, twice every 2 weeks. Then the disadvantages of wage employment are, number one, they don't have a security of tenure just like a salary grade employee. Earned money is divided into half or weekly that wages become low. Number two, since it is no work, no pay, sick leave depends on the company. It may depend if they have compensation or healthcare program that can compensate the lost days they work. Then number three, since some has no contract, it is easy for the management to remove and replace employees. Number four, since wages is expected on the same routine, employers are not that frugal when spending their earned money.
And now to test what you have learned, get ready your pen and paper for we will be having a short activity. You may refer to the worksheets provided by your implementers. But for those who are not given worksheets yet, don't worry because we'll be reading the questions for you. All you have to do is to answer the questions correctly and choose your answer in the choices given. Are you all ready to start the activity? Okay, very good.
For today's activity, you will identify the given sentences if it is an advantages or disadvantages of a wage employment. Write A if it is advantage or AD if it is a disadvantages. So let us start the activity.
Okay, number 1. Wage employment has no contracts. It's easy for the management to remove and replace employees. Number 2. No work, no pay. Employees will expect how much they will get paid for the day they are working. Number 3. Since it is no work, no pay, sick leave depends on the company. It may depend if they have compensation or healthcare program that can compensate the lost days they work. Number 4. They don't have a security of tenure, just like a salary grade employee, and money is divided into half or weekly that wages become low. Number 5. No contract, they are not bound to contracts, but it is only depends upon the employer if he or she will let his or her employees sign a certain contract.
Let me repeat the sentences. Number 1, wage employment has no contract. It's easy for the management to remove and replace employees. Number 2, no work, no pay employees will expect how much they will get paid for the day they are working. Number 3, since it is no work, no pay, sick leave depends on the company. It may depend if they have compensation or healthcare program that can compensate the lost days they work. Number 4, they don't have security of tenure, just like a salary grade employee. Earned money is divided into half or weekly that wages become low. And last, no contract. They are not bound to any contracts, but it is only depending upon the employer if he or she will let his or her employees sign a certain contract.
Alright, are you done answering, my dear learners? Excellent. Now, let us check your answers. Are you ready? If yes, then let's reveal the correct answer. For number 1, the correct answer, disadvantages or AD. And for number 2, the correct answer is letter A or advantages. And for number 3, the correct answer is advantages or A. And for number 4, the correct answer is advantages or AD. And for the last number, which is number 5, the correct answer is advantages or A.
Did you get the perfect score? If you did, excellent! But if you got 3 correct answers and below, don't worry because we will have another activity. Just do your best on the following test so you can still get a higher mark.
And for your final activity, write at least 5 differences of wage employment and self-employment using table. Let me repeat, for your final activity, write at least 5 differences of wage employment, and self-employment using a table.
Do you understand? Perfect! For this activity, wait for your implementers to collect your own work. Do you get it? Very good!
That is it for our discussion for today, my beloved Als learners. But before we end our session for today, let us announce first who will be receiving 50 pesos worth of load today. Do you have a number, Ma'am Nerissa?
Yes, Ma'am Beth. We have a winner for today's Tanong Ko, Sagot Mo. And that is none other than Annalyn Anorico from Villalon, Calubian, Leyte. Her answer is wage.
Okay, congratulations again, Annalyn Anorico from Villalon, Calubian, Leyte. So, that's all for today. I hope you've learned a lot from us, and before we bid goodbye, please always tune in to our educational morning radio show, Als Radyo Eskwela, every Monday and Friday of the week at 11 to 11:30 in the morning, only here at 103.9 Radyo Natin FM, Naval, Biliran. Once again, this is Teacher Beth from Naval District 1, which leaves you a saying that we bring education to where it is most needed despite this pandemic. Let us all stay positive and make sure that the fun and learning must continue.
And this is Teacher Nerissa Sorsolejo from Cabocgayan District 2 saying, God bless and keep safe, everyone.
Ang dibisyon